So, you're interested in working as an immigration paralegal for a US law firm. Maybe you are in another country and you've been wondering if that's even possible. Or maybe you're already in the US thinking about switching careers or finding a way to use your bilingual skills in a legal setting. Either way, you're in the right place. My name is Julio Costa. I've worked in immigration law for several years in roles ranging from paralegal to senior paralegal and supervising paralegal. I have supervised teams, trained people from the ground up, and just as important, I've actually hired paralegals. I've read through the resumes, done the interviews, and I've seen firsthand what law firms really look for and what gets ignored. This video is not a magic formula. I'm not going to tell you what's easy or that you will get hired overnight. But if you're serious about this path, whether you have legal experience or not, I will walk you through what actually matters, what skills to focus on, how to build credibility, and where you might find opportunities. We'll talk about tools, expectations, even writing samples, and I'll give you some real-world perspective from someone who's seen from both sides of the hiring table. Let's get into it. But before we dive into the steps, let's get clear on who this video is actually for and what's realistically possible. I've created this with two groups in mind. First, if you're living outside the United States and you're curious about working remotely for an immigration law firm in the US. Yes, that can happen. I have seen it happen. And I have worked with people based out of Brazil, Honduras, Portugal, the Netherlands, and these people have supported law firms in the US without ever stepping foot in the country. Second, maybe you are already living in the United States. You might be thinking about switching careers or finding a more meaningful way to use your language skills. And you are wondering whether immigration law could be a good fit. And the answer is yes, possibly, if you're ready to learn, stay organized, and communicate clearly. Now, a quick but important reality check. Being a paralegal is not the same as being an attorney. You won't be giving out legal advice. You will actually be supporting attorneys doing legal research, organizing and preparing documents and forms, communicating with clients under supervision. Also, if you are outside the United States, some job listings may require work authorization or specific contracts. That's something you will need to evaluate case by case. But not all law firms require that, and some are very open to remote freelance style roles. So yes, you can do this, but only if you're willing to approach it seriously, ethically, and with a real understanding of what the role is. Now let's talk about what law firms are really looking for when they hire paralegals, especially remote or entry-level ones. I have personally reviewed hundreds of resumes for immigration law firms. I've been the one deciding who gets an interview and who doesn't. And I can tell you this, it's not always about having the perfect legal background. What stands out more than anything else is whether someone seems organized, clear, and reliable. That means, can you follow instructions? Can you write in plain professional English, even if it's your second or third language? Can you manage small tasks without constant reminders? If you don't have legal experience, that's okay. Many of the best paralegals I've worked with came from non-legal fields, such as customer service, teaching, translation, and administrative roles. But what they had in common was attention to detail, calm under pressure, communication skills. One thing that really helps, if you are bilingual or multilingual, especially in Spanish, Chinese, or Portuguese, that's really valuable. Many immigration law firms serve clients who prefer to speak one of those languages. So let's say you worked at a front desk or as a translator. You've already dealt with people under stress. You've had to explain complicated things clearly. That's incredibly relevant in immigration law, even if you've never touched a legal form. So when you're preparing a resume or applying, think about the bigger picture. You're not just listing past jobs. You're showing that you can be a dependable part of a legal team. Someone who helps run things smoothly, who pays attention, and who knows how to treat clients with respect. Let's talk about technology for a second, because if you want to work remotely as a paralegal, you're going to need to be comfortable using case management software. Now, don't worry, you don't need to be a programmer or a tech wizard at all, but you should know how to navigate platforms, organize information, and communicate clearly using software tools. Some of the most common case management systems used in immigration law firms in the US include DocketWise, Clio, LawLogix, Practice Panther, and Serenade. Each of these systems has its own features, but they all do basically similar things. They help law firms keep track of deadlines, fill out forms, store documents, and communicate with clients. My recommendation: pick one or two of these and start familiarizing yourself. Look up demo videos on YouTube, take notes, explore their websites. You don't need to master every button, but being able to say, I've explored Clio and I understand how case notes and forms are managed will already put you ahead of most applicants. And once you've learned one platform, it becomes much easier to adapt to another one. The structure is similar across all of them. What matters is that you're not intimidated by software and that you're willing to learn. So now you might be thinking, okay, I'm willing to learn. I know what skills I need to show, but where do I actually find a job like this? This part can feel a little overwhelming, especially if you are applying from outside of the US, or if you're new to the legal field. But there's a method to it. Let's break it into two different paths. If you're based in the US, you'll want to look at 1. Local immigration law firms in your area. 2. Nonprofits that offer immigration legal services. Or 3. Job boards like Indeed, LinkedIn, and Idealist. And don't forget, many immigration law firms are small, so direct outreach with a clear, respectful message can go a long way. Now, if you're applying from abroad, things look a little different. You're more likely to be hired by firms that 1. Already work with a remote staff. 2. Are used to handling freelance contracts. Or 3. Serve communities who speak your language. And here's a strategic tip. Use your language as a compass. Let's say you're from Venezuela and speak fluent Spanish. Your best bet is to find law firms in the US that serve Latino immigrant communities. Same goes if you're from China, Brazil, Haiti, or really anywhere else in the world. Look for firms whose clients match your background. You can search Google for terms like Spanish-speaking immigration attorney in Houston, or Portuguese immigration lawyer in Newark, or even Mandarin immigration law firm in California. Then go to those firms' websites, learn about their team and their clients, and send a tailored message or resume. This takes more time than blasting out 50 generic applications, but it's so much more effective. Law firms want people who understand their clients, not just the law. And if you can bring both language and cultural understanding, well, that's a real asset. Let's talk about what happens when you actually apply, because sending your resume is just the beginning. Most law firms, especially the well-run ones, will ask for at least 2 things: a resume and a writing sample. Your resume doesn't need to be fancy, but it does need to be clear. If you don't have direct legal experience, that's okay. Focus on work where you've dealt with people in tough situations, or jobs that required attention to detail, any role where you've had to read carefully, write clearly, or manage multiple tasks at once. I won't go into resume formatting in this video, but I've linked a solid guide in the description if you need help organizing it. Now, the writing sample is where many applicants get stuck. A writing sample is your chance to show that you can write in professional English with structure and clarity. If you don't have a real writing sample from legal work, that's fine. You can create a mock one. For example, a short memorandum explaining an immigration issue, or a draft client letter, even a sample motion or affidavit written using a public template. Now, here's a word about AI. Look, AI tools like ChatGPT can help you structure ideas. I'm obviously familiar with how they work, but if you just copy and paste an AI-generated writing sample, well, I promise you, it shows. The language tends to be overly formal, robotic, and repetitive sometimes. It's not a deal breaker to use AI, obviously, but if you do, you need to revise, simplify, and humanize it. You need to make it yours. So now you know what law firms are looking for, the tools you will probably use, and what to prepare when applying. But what does this look like in real life? The truth is, there's no perfect formula. I've seen people land jobs really quickly and others take months to get their foot in the door. And honestly, sometimes it's not about you at all. It's about timing, budgets, and firm priorities. But here's what I can tell you. If you focus on building real skills, if you communicate clearly and professionally, and if you keep showing up, you will improve your chances over time. And one more thing, it's okay to start small. Maybe your first opportunity won't be with a big law firm. Maybe you will start with part-time help or even volunteering for a nonprofit to build experience. That's okay. Many people in this field, including myself, work through multiple roles and learn by doing. In my own career, I've worked as a paralegal, as a senior paralegal, and a supervising paralegal. But I built that over time, not overnight. If you stay honest, stay organized, and treat every task with care, you're already doing what many law firms hope to find in a paralegal. All right, thanks for spending this time with me. And if you've watched this far, I already know that you're taking this seriously. And that's a fantastic place to start. Whether you are in another country or already in the US, I hope this video gave you some clarity and a realistic sense of what this path looks like. By the way, I'm not selling anything and there's nothing you need to sign up for, but if this video helped you in any way, or if there's a topic you'd like me to cover in a future video, just leave a comment down below. I'm going to make sure to read them all, and it will help me understand what you guys are actually looking for. Well, I guess this is it for now, and I'll see you guys in the next one.